If you're talking about a name that is synonymous with marine audio, then of course today's brand is the one. Of course, we're talking about Wet Sounds. And today we've got both their national trainer in Carl Campbell, as well as their distributor Trends Electronics and Grant McFadder joining us to go through some new gear that you need to know about. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Wet Sounds. And it starts now. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and like I promised, we are talking about Wet Sounds today because this is a brand that is very beloved within the marine audio industry, not only for its innovative products, its outlandish performance, but also the fact that they've grown so much on the OE side of things. So their know-how and their, attention to detail certainly shines through in everything they do. Now, I have Grant McFadder joining us first, then we're going to have a chit-chat. Now, Grant, this is a brand that is, like I said, very synonymous with the marine category, and the products seem to back it up. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Ben, we've been with Wet Sounds for, I think it's going on 17th year with those guys, and pretty much from the beginning. And the product's gone from 2 SKUs to a massive catalog of products. Most of it's a marine category, but you'll see a little bit later, they're transitioning into some other categories. But as far as product goes, it is by far the go-to extreme. Guy wants the best of the best. Wet Sounds is absolutely there. There's a lot of great products on the market, but everyone compares themselves to Wet Sounds, not the other way around. So as far as a leader in the industry goes, I think Wet Sounds is absolutely there.
Well, on today's Connected, we're going to cover a couple key products that you dealers need to know about. And Grant, I saw a sneak peek of it because it kind of blocked half your body in the frame. And I think what we want to start with are the Rev series tower speakers, more specifically in both the Rev 10 and Rev 12 HD. So, Grant, what can you tell us about them?
You mean these dainty little guys over here? Yeah, this is the biggest, baddest boy on the planet. So this is our Rev 12 HD. They make a Rev 10 HD as well. But I wanted to show off the big boy because if you want you want less sound, just go to the smaller guy. This is the big, bad boy, loudest guy in the lake, best performance. This is not a Rev 10 with a larger cone. This is the Rev HD series is a completely different sounding speaker. Rev 10, the old Rev 10s, if you want it just loud and be the loudest guy in the lake, then absolutely go for those. If you want to be loud and extremely good sound quality, that they've put all their efforts in to make this the best sounding tower speaker on the planet, the new Rev HD series is what you have to have. So comes in white or black. There's 3 different grill options. We have the XZB grill on the sample unit here. There's the XSW grill and the XZB grill. All available a la carte, so you can order it in the finish you want, the style you want, whatever color you want, black or white. Lots of really cool features they've added to it this year. One of them being the integrated RGB lighting, so you don't have to add these LED lit kits anymore, which was a pain in the butt for some of those guys that have tried them before. The new ones are all integrated, so you've got accent lighting showing up on the cone. You've got this nice lip around the outside, and then you've also got the logo on the back, which lights up, which is upside down on this one for some reason, but you can rotate that. So either the front or the back logo or the front ring is actually, I think there's 48 different mounting points that you can rotate the grill. So we can fix that backwards logo, no problem. Performance wise, second to none. Mounting options, what they've done really cool on these is they've scalloped the outer can. So this Rev 12 actually hangs up higher than the old Rev 10s by about an inch and a half, I believe. So don't get scared by the height of these things, the overall size of these, because this will actually hang higher on your boat than a Rev 10 will. Likewise with the Rev 10 HDs, they'll hang higher than a Rev 8. So awesome sound quality, performance second to none, gorgeous cosmetics. I love this new XCB grill, absolutely stunning. But absolutely the best of the best when it comes to tower speakers.
Grant, thank you for that detailed description of the new Rev 10 and Rev 12 HD series. But guess what? We've got somebody waiting in the back here that we're going to bring in because, well, he knows a thing or two about Wet Sounds. His name is Carl Campbell, coming to us from HQ. Now, Carl, these Rev 10 and 12s are absolute beasts. What can you add to this presentation?
Well, Grant did a pretty good job. He touched on most of the cool features that those Rev 10 and 12 HDs have. And he's right, they do hang higher. The 10-inch hangs an 1.5 inches higher than last year's Rev 10, and the 12 hangs about a half inch higher than last year's Rev 10. So you do have a lot of more headroom clearance with that. One thing that he didn't touch on is we actually built a special crossover protection circuit inside those speakers so that if you're coming back off the cove and you're putting your boat away and you just coast into the cove and you kill everything and you kill the sound, but you forget to turn the volume down on your radio, well, when you turn it back on, a lot of people forget that their volume's at 100. So when they start the boat back up, they blare the system with audio, and sometimes you can damage your tweeters. So we actually put a protection capacitor in our crossover to keep that from happening in case you forget to turn the volume down when you're finished using your boat. So we put a lot of effort into these speakers to not only make them extremely durable, but to sound fantastic. So as Grant was mentioning, a lot of the effort that Wet Sounds puts into our products, we do the same with even the simple little thing like the clamps that are used for our tower speakers. They can hold 800 times more the weight than they need to. They're incredibly strong, and a lot of effort goes into making them the way they are. It takes over 7 days to make one clamp for our product. It's a very long process called lost wax sand forming, but it makes the product incredibly strong and almost impossible to break. Plus, the swivel mount on the clamp that Grant's going to show you gives you the capability to take the tower speakers off your boat in about a minute's time, which is really great for storing your boat during the winter, or if you're just at a lake you've never been at and you're a little suspect of your neighboring boats in the marina or in the cove. Very simple to pull them down and lock them away in a cabinet somewhere so you don't have to worry about theft issues or just when you're storing your boat.
All right, so staying along the theme of loudspeakers, of course, Wet Sounds offers an incredible selection of speakers as well. And specifically on today's Connected, we're going to dive into their new or latest rendition, which are the Zero series speakers. So, Grant, I know you have a couple models there you want to show. Talk to us about these Zero speakers.
Ben, there's actually 4 new Zero speakers in the works. So we have 2 of the current ones, the 06 available in black and white. We have the 08 available in black and white. And there's 2 new models that Carl's going to talk about for a different application a little bit later on. But the 6-inch comes in black or white. It's a compression horn loaded coaxial speaker. Very, very shallow mounting depth. So there's multiple applications for these. When they built these speakers, the name Zero came from zero compromise. So everything they've learned in marine audio over the last 16 years, they've incorporated into the speaker. So from the basket to the cone material, and obviously in compression horn drivers, they're no slouch with that when it comes to tower speakers and so on. They've incorporated those into the coaxials. So lots of cool features on these. They sound incredible. If guys want to play these loud, absolutely sell these over the Revos. The Zeros will not let you down. These are tons and tons of power handling, sound incredible at loud volumes. Some of the cool stuff they've integrated in here, you've got regular speaker terminals. Of course, if you go to the overhead here, you'll see the DTC connector on the back as well. So if you do have marine grade connectors that are common in some of the newer boats, that will plug directly in. You don't have to cut that off and clip on new speaker spades on there. So DTC connector is capable on these. Other applications for this, obviously, the grill comes off. Some of the cool things you'll notice on these, if you look at the surround on there, it's actually an inverted surround. It's not a regular extruded surround on there. It's inverted. So the reason they did this is for some of the other applications they're going to do, what we're going to talk about a little bit later possibly, but Harley-Davidson is one of those areas where that will drop into the fairing of a road glide or a street glide, and you don't have to worry about that surround hitting that concave grill on the road glide grills. Same with the connector on the back. That'll connect to the factory Harley-Davidson speaker connector as well. So not only this is a great solution for marine, we're crossing over into motorcycle and some other categories down the road. So current models, 6-inch and the 8-inch, available in black or white. And then there's a new 6x9 and 5x7 that Carl will talk about.
Like Grant said, we have a new 5x7 and a 6x9 Zero speaker hitting the market soon. The 6x9 will come with a grill. The 5x7 will not, because most 5x7 applications, this is either behind a door, in a bag for a bike, so they generally don't need a grill. So that's why this is not coming with it. But they also do both have the slide-on spade connectors and the DTC connector, like Grant had mentioned, and it's very simple. He's right. Harley Davidson is using this. It's just a lock in place, boom, undo it. And also, a lot of the boat manufacturers also are using this connector within the marine industry. You're going to see a lot of OEM boats have this plug. So Wet Sounds is a great solution for those type of vehicles because once again, you won't have to cut wiring. It's the connector's already there for you.
One of the other new things they've added for the new Zero speakers is they did not come with integrated RGB lighting. So what they've done is they've added a series of LED rings for the 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch subwoofer, and obviously the 12-inch subwoofer as well, available as an add-on accessory should you want to add the RGB lighting. So opaque acrylic rings made exactly to fit the Zero speakers. The RGB lighting is integrated in here with quick disconnect Deutsch connectors on there as well. Nice thing about this from an installer standpoint, if this is on your boat side, you wire this up to your existing wiring, leave that dongle hanging, and when it's time to put the rings and the speakers in, all you do is quick connect on the DTC connector here. So boom, done. Locked, watertight, RGB, and speaker connectors are done. So brand new Zero ZR affiliated 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch, and 12-inch rings.
All right, some nice accessories adding to the new Zero lineup of speakers with those RGB lighting options. Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't also cover the fact that, yes, Zero has some solutions when it comes to bass and subwoofers as well. And Grant, I see you have one in front of you.
Ben, these are the new Zero subwoofers. They've been out in the market for a little while, but some people are still relatively new to this series of products. They come in a 010 in a single 4-ohm and a new 2-ohm version coming soon. And then a 12-inch version of it as well, also available in a 4-ohm and a 2-ohm. Available with a black or a white grill. That's your choice, whatever matches your needs as far as cosmetics go. I love this grill, by the way. Just take a look at that XZB grill. It might be hard to pick up on camera, but there's actually like 2 tones to it. There's one, these ribs here are all gloss white, and then the other ribs are flat black. So it gives a really nice high-end finish to these, both in the black and the white grills do that. So I think the grill's gorgeous. Reminds me of my, the early 90s when you had your Honda Civic rolling down the road with your niche wheels. So I call it the niche wheel grill, but awesome sounding speakers. Super shallow mounting depth, which is obviously one of the key features on this. And it gives us multiple applications. Marine, you'll see with the new Zero enclosures we'll talk about a little bit later. Different applications for pickup trucks, ATVs, you name it, golf carts, lots of different applications for these. So flat, shallow mount, 10-inch and 12-inch subwoofer. One of the really cool, unique features on the back of this too is the threaded insert, which we'll talk a little bit more about when we get to the enclosures. But that allows us to secure that to the enclosure and give us a reinforcement point, so there's no flexing of the subwoofer enclosure. But amazing sounding subs. Don't let these be, because they're shallow, fool you. These things absolutely hammer. Everyone that's tried these out, or I got a phone call back saying, wow, did these things hit? So they absolutely hammer. It's not a compromise when you go to a shallow subwoofer. Again, amazing sounding subs, lots of power handling, 300 watts RMS on the 10, 400 watts RMS on the 12. You should really check these out. They sound amazing.
And to touch what Grant was talking about, on these new rotomold enclosures we have available for the Zeros 10 and the 12, where he was talking about that locking point, you actually have a little divot right here on the back of our rotomold enclosures that goes right into the back of the speaker. What that does is once that speaker's locked in place, 1, it makes a watertight seal, but 2, it keeps the rigidity of the rotomold plastic perfectly tight and sealed, and that makes the response of the speaker so much more impressive because you don't have a flexing of the box. So these things really make these Zero subs sound incredible.
Ben, some of the other cool features about these, not only do they look amazing, the finish on this, everyone that sees these is like, wow, what is that? We had a lot of exposure at the CMA show with these. That was the first time people in Canada got to see them. We had this huge Wet Sounds board showing all the product, and everyone come up to these rotomold enclosures. So not only the eye-catching, super durable. On the cool features on here we'll talk about is the logo. You can change that around. This badge comes off. So if you want to mount it as a downfire enclosure, you can take that logo off and obviously have it the right way up. Other things that are really cool about this is different options for mounting it. So if you look on the edge of this thickness here, the thickness on the back, and the thickness on the front here are all exactly the same. So what they've done is they've given these Z brackets to act as a mounting application for these. So if you're mounting this to the bottom, like a wedge, truck wedge, just go ahead, clamp that on there, secure it down. If you want to do it as an upfire, lay the subwoofer on its back, same bracket, clamp it on there, lock it down. And if you want to do it as a downfire, same thing. Just take your Z bracket, lock it down. Super simple, super effective way to install it. The other thing that's cool about these, if you look on the end caps here, is you see these little inserts. And what they've done is they've given you these blank plates that will sit in here and allows you to link multiple of these together. So you can link 3 10s. It's the same length as doing 2 12s. So if you're doing the back of a pickup truck, you want to do 3 10s or 2 12s, you can link these enclosures for mega amounts of output for your subwoofers. So really, really cool enclosures, cosmetically gorgeous. For a feature set, the other thing they've added on here as well is on the inside. They've given you the DTC connector as well, which is the same. It's on the back of the subwoofer. So there's no messing around with wiring. You simply clip that in place on the subwoofer. You're done. There's your reinforcement point. If you look down on the overhead screen, there's your reinforcement point where that threaded insert on the subwoofer mounts to, and that gives you that extra rigidity and reinforcement point for mounting the subwoofer, stopping the enclosure from flexing. So really, really cool enclosures. Same DTC connector on the back as well. So you can quick disconnect that from your truck, take it to your boat, take it to your golf cart, vice versa, for different applications. So really cool enclosures. And we're super excited to get lots in stock. Just arrived last week, so we're good to go.
I gotta say, guys, these new Rotomold enclosures are absolutely sexy. The finish, the features, everything about it. Obviously, they were very thoughtful in the design, and the application for this is across the board. I know we're talking about marine audio here, but I think we can all agree that this is a rough and rugged solution for many, many different applications. All right, we're down to the last newer product that we want to cover on today's Connected. We're going to go to you, Carl, now. We're talking about a full range monoblock amplifier for the marine environment, and it's called the HTM1.
That's correct, Ben. The HTM1 is our new monoblock amplifier. A lot of great cool features with this. It's incredibly small footprint. It's got these great locking connectors that make installation easy, and it gives you maximum protection no matter whether it's in a boat or a UTV or your vehicle. But huge amount of output, 1 ohm stable. And it, like you're correct, you're saying it is a full range amplifier. So you can use this in a myriad of different ways. It's not just a sub amp. So, if you've got a set of tower speakers that you want to run and you don't care whether it's mono, boom, small footprint, lots of power. Or if you need an amp for that Rotomold sub enclosure for the Zero, boom, lots of power. You get everything you need out of this amplifier, no matter how you want to use it.
And that's a wrap on today's Connected, all about wet sounds and the marine audio category. I want to thank both my guests, Grant McFadder from Trends, as well as Carl Campbell from Wet Sounds, for joining us today. Now, my takeaway from this is very simple. The fact that Wet Sounds continues to engineer, continues to develop, continues to push the envelope of what is possible within this marine audio space is a testament to the brand itself. If you are a shop interested in providing your customers with top-tier product within this category, there's no mistake that Wet Sounds has a very attractive offering for you to take a closer look at. In particular, I gotta say that Rev 12 HD, I mean, if you have a customer that's looking for the ultimate, that's gotta be it right there. The Zero speakers continue to impress, and with the addition of these new rotomolded enclosures, with all the built-in features that they've already thought of, is something that definitely caught my eye. If you're looking for more information, I do encourage you to head on over to the Wet Sounds website to get all the details. And if you happen to be a retailer in Canada, make sure you hit up Trends Electronics, for they are the authorized distributor for all things Wet Sounds in Canada. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.